How are y'all today? Not too good with this bike. I'm a little frustrated. I have a problem and I can't figure out what it is. You see, Saturday I got the gaskets in, the new gaskets for the carburetor. So Sunday I put them in and I got the carburetor back on the bike. And I'm not a carburetor mechanic. I don't know everything about a carburetor, but everything is pristinely clean. Everything is even on both carbs. I checked the little needle valve. It moves like maybe a millimeter on both sides, and even the little screw here. I turned it in 1 1/4 turns is what the factory said. So now I put the gas tank on and I crank it and it idles up so high. It's like crazy. So you instantly think something's wrong with the carburetor. Some kind of idle. It's getting too much air. Something's going on. It's like, wow, it's like 400. It's like 4,000 RPMs or even more than that. I don't know because the tach went out. It was working, but it's not. As soon as I hit the kill switch, as soon as it revs up that high, idles up that high, I instantly hit the off switch because I don't want to blow up the engine. The lights aren't working. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And it's so weird because I'm jiggling every wire and I can't find, I'm expecting every wire to see if there's maybe frayed or burnt. All the connections, I tested the fuse, I took everything apart, I tested with my contingency meter, and it seems like everything's working just fine. So I crank it up, and instead of idling high, it runs just fine, and the lights come on, the horn honks, and I'm like, okay, great, everything's working. And then it dies. And I crank it, and nothing works, and it starts idling crazily. So it's like 2 problems in one, and I don't know what's going on. And the last time I cranked it idled perfect. And then it just slowly, I let it set for a minute or two, and then it slowly went lower and lower and lower, and I turned the accelerator a little bit. It raised the RPMs, and then they went down, 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 and then it stopped, almost like it's out of gas. So I turn it to reserve and crank it, and it doesn't crank right away, but then when it does crank, whoo, it's flying at 4 or 5,000 RPMs, and I have to kill switch. So that's what I'm dealing with today. So let's just crank it up now and see what's going on. I took the old air filter out. I was thinking maybe it needs different oil or something, so I cleaned that one. It's out there drying, but I had 2 in the pack. So the other one, I got the K&N red oil and sprayed that on there, and then put it in here. And so let's see. It's always scary because of how high it revs. See that? It just, whoa. tach's not working, and it's just revving so super high. So I turned that where it's all the way out. It's not even touching the tab that opens the venturi. And so the venturi are pretty much all the way closed. The choke's fine. I mean, it's not on. So I was messing through all the wires, and something over in this area near these rear turn signals seemed to have caused it to flicker instantly. I think a short. I pinned them all with the key on. I just try, if it's a short, it's going to get a connection sporadically, and there's going to be a light to come on. So I'm wiggling all of this, and nothing's happening. But out of all the wires here, this one that runs to this turn signal seems to be kind of smashed and broken in places. And so this could be the culprit. Even though it's not coming on, it could be too far gone to cause a connection with just moving it around. So I'll run up there, I'll get some more wire. So I'll see if I can find some more of these bullet connectors. If not, I may have to use this one here. I already have some ring terminals. So I'll run up there and grab some wire, and maybe we can fix at least one of these problems today. I'm back with wire and ring terminals. I went ahead and I needed black, but I got yellow as well, just because if there's anything else later that comes up that needs to be changed, I don't have to go back to the store. This is the wire I need to replace right here. And this is the wire that goes up into the light assembly. And so instead of having to take this off of here and then wire it down here, which I might end up having to do soldering and stuff, I'd rather not mess with that. Instead of replacing the ring terminal, I'll just take this one off of here and put the new wire that I got in this old ring terminal, and that should work. I'm so silly. I'm trying to work this off and take this ring terminal off. I'm trying to be all careful and reuse this old ring terminal so I don't have to attach it. And I thought, you know what? This was just attached by a bullet connector. What's the other side attached with? And of course, a bullet connector right here. This black wire. Let me see. I'm going to face it up that way so I can tell where I got it out of. I should have bought some electric cleaner while I was there. And so now I can just slide this wire off the end of here like that. I don't have to take off anything. I got new terminals. I was just trying to save this one because it was on there. So let's make another wire this size with a ring terminal on this end and a bullet connector on this end. Just so that I don't get any of these confused, I'm gonna label the wires. think I discovered the problem with the carburetor. Okay. That means it's gonna have to come off. I don't know if you could see, and I can't really point to it because I'm holding the camera in one hand and the flashlight in the other, but there's a spring, and see the little hook on the end of the spring is not hooked to anything. So when I was putting these carburetors back together, I must have missed that. That spring needs to bend around and pull to hold this throttle lever down tight. See, I think that's what it is. Oh, there, see that in there? It is not really pressed down too much, and with the tension of the throttle cable on it, it's coming up more than it should and opening the throttle. I bet that's what it is. And so that little spring needs to be hooked behind that lever. So I'm gonna have to pull out the whole cars again. I was paying so much attention to the inside workings of the carburetor that I didn't even pay attention to that spring. Man. Oh well. Maybe third time's a charm. Try it again. Well, that was a lot better. That spring was what did it. I still got to work on it, and I still can't figure out what the electrical problem is. I rewired these wires in the back that seemed a little bad, and it's still nothing's coming on. So I don't know if it's a short or if it's something else going on that I just don't know anything about. I guess it's just gonna be a long road of troubleshooting, but I'll get to it. I feel like I'm trying to dig a ditch with a teaspoon, but it's okay. One step at a time. We'll get there. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a wonderful night and take care. Bye-bye.